A good day and welcome to Obi Dati Family TV. Now the program na Hope Alive. So today will be 10th day of July. We don't come make we for brief obedience and well-meaning Nigerians worldwide on the things where we say it they happen. So this today we get plenty things where we say we won't share with our obedient members and well-meaning Nigerians. The case of this Adeleke for this governorship election wey just pass, where Supreme Court decide this year, e gave insight for wetin IReV mean, because for this IReV wey we dey talk about, everybody just dey look am, even from the election petition tribunal, everybody wey come do their testimony dey talk say e no make meaning. Then they talk say INEC no even suppose show anything for IReV, say e no mean, na just secondary thing. But no be like that e be, according to Supreme Court. No be me talk am. So I go bring una that judgment as they deliver the document, una go see am, where the Justice Emmanuel from the Nigerian Supreme Court made it clear in the judgment that IReV is especially required and mandated by the Electoral Act. Now be the major thing we go here. But before we get into that very discussion, I get Angel with me in the house and I get Esther. Make una greet our people. Make we not they go.
Good day, my well-meaning Nigerians and fabulous obedience. Happy New Week to all of una. Share una day okay. Na still hope alive. Our hope still there alive. Tell your neighbor say we don't come again. Welcome on board.
Esther, where you dey?
Good day, obedient people. How on a day? How was on our weekend? People are welcome again to Hope Alive show. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching.
Okay, so we'll go get into them direct. But like I said, before we dive into that very Supreme Court matter, where we say I want make we listen to, I want make we feel that judgment, because when we finish from this tribunal, na Supreme Court, now we the waka go. So we get the judgment we talk on that section of IReV, the requirement of IReV, how it take concern upload. We get them. But before we get to that very one, as I said before, let's Esther take us through waiting obedience and well-meaning Nigerians, they report, especially online and on tweet. Make we take that one first before we go enter there. Esther, make we work out.
Okay, we have this one from Aisha Yusuf. She said, let me repeat what I said. The rule of law means no one is above the law. Tinubu's forgery and rigging are too there for Nigeria to simply move on. What moral justification would we have to speak on forgery with a forger fraudulently occupying the #1 political office? Now, so she talk am here.
As she take talk am, no be small thing, no. But you know, Aisha na our own person, and Aisha know wetin she dey talk. Angel, she say your mother do muye.
Yes, so you get some people where reply am. Make we even see ourselves. Obinna said, name, birthplace, schools, mates, career, source of wealth, all doubtful. My people, now they here. Imagine what other countries, embassies, and intelligence agencies will be writing about Tinubu. What a shame. Mazi Izuchukwu said, a nation where the rule of law is sacrosanct, no one should be above the law. Forgery, rigging are serious transgressions, far-reaching consequences, and Nigerians can't afford to overlook them. How can we credibly condemn forgery when a forger holds the highest political office? Gang.
No be small thing for waiting they happen.
Now, wow. My people, that thing get as it be. No wahala. Another person said, Moria said, "It is a terrible thing, my sister. Why are all Nigerians so silent? Have we all been bribed? Where are those voices that took to the streets and shouted Jonathan down so many times? Where are they? Let's get up like one man and say no to this evil about to rubbish our true democracy." Now true, we all need to stand up and say no to all this nonsense, to all this nyama nyama, my people. Make them no carry this man, put and destroy our democracy. Judiciary, no na dey trial now. All eyes on judiciary. Judiciary, make una no fall our hands.
Yes,
make una no fall our hands. I just dey tell una.
Yeah. Angel, I know say as it dey ought to now you dey talk am. So as we don't see how those tweets take dey be, as una take put am na so the thing take be, and they come well from our people where we say they love Nigeria, the people that are interested in new Nigeria. Make we vanna dey go.
So we have another tweet here. This one is from Teddy Ezike. He said, "Why the court is going to invalidate and order a rerun of the presidential election within 90 days. This guy said so many things here about so many points. So we're going to take them one after the other. He said the Supreme Court has held that accreditation by BVAS results on Form EC8A and voters register are the three foundations of collection of election results. He come talk again, say the Supreme Court equally held that verification of accreditation result on Form EC8 is mandatory to assure the integrity of the process. Instead talk say also the Supreme Court held that regulations 48A and 38I, II and III provided that result from the polling unit must be scanned and transmitted to the electoral collection system and IReV. The fourth one wey im talk be say, in addition to the Supreme Court held that the verification of accreditation number on the INEC hard copy, with that on the physical BVAS machine, the results called by political parties must be verified with results scanned and transmitted at the polling unit onto the electoral collection system and the IReV. The fifth one wey im talk be say INEC collection system forms the back end of IReV. My people, now they follow this one. Im talk say INEC collection system form the back end of IReV. It is the mirror. In other words, INEC collection system is a copy of the IReV viewable by only INEC staff. Now wow, this guy just dey hit am o. He come talk say INEC at the court said it did not use the electronic collection system or the IReV for collection. Una dey see controversy so. He said INEC implied it did not verify the results called by political parties on the hard copy form EC8A within the scanned copies uploaded onto the collection system and the IReV. Im talk say INEC admitted that by the time it declared results, only 31% of the result has been uploaded onto the electronic collection system and the IReV. Now wow, obedient una dey there. He said the IReV shows the results from over 18,000 are unreadable for reasons not being clear, mutilated, wrong documents. In talk again, say evidence also show that nearly 10,000 polling units have no accreditation or incorrect accreditation and subject to cancellation. He say IReV portal shows that nearly about 10,000 of the results are yet to be uploaded, yet they don't call results. Number 12 of his point, we say from the above of about 38,000 or 22% of the polling unit results are either unverifiable or questionable. If one uses average of 5,000 PVC collected, then we'll talk about 19 million disenfranchised voters. If we will take average of 100 voters per polling unit, we land at about 40 votes. We will land about 40 million votes. In either case, much more than the margin of lead of 1.8 million votes. Now, wow, this guy dey hit am o. He talk say 13, the court only have two authorities. A, to invalid the election, or B, to change the winner of the election. Now, in consequence, we will go see section 134 and 136 of the Electoral Act. Now, there we go see them. Now, the court has no power to declare a runoff between two candidates according to the law. It is for INEC to decide depending on the condition of the outcome of the election. Now, judging from the position of INEC, which is clearly contrary to the law, and the enormous verifiable evidence of non-compliance or malpractice, he said, I believe it is safe to expect the court to annul the presidential election and order a complete rerun, wherein all the qualified candidates could participate. It is therefore not too soon for various candidates and their parties to start strategizing and preparing for the inevitable rerun between December 2023 and February 2024.
Esther, you don't try. This one, a real long tweet from our people, and you take calm as it take be. Our people, as we talk, when I feel go for the person tweet handle and also see many things where they there. But Angel, your mother do mwe.
Yes, so you get replies where they under him. Yes, Daddy Peter Obi is coming, said, one of the prayers of Peter Obi and Labour Party to the Presidential Electoral Tribunal is for Tinubu and Shetima to be disqualified. And this is one of the conditions for a rerun, to be ordered by the court. You can't imagine a man who has been benefited from corrupt practices and is now sitting in Aso Rock with the power of the chief executive to be on the ballot and still expect a fair election. My people, you know jig at all. Batshima should not be on the ballot in case of a rerun. I hope some of the other prayers will catch up on them and get them disqualified.
No be a small thing. Chief Okiare say something myself.
Chief Conde talking on say, there will be no rerun. What rerun are you talking about? Go and take a proper look at the prayer by LP and come back. After disqualifying Tinubu, a recount will show PO won the election. Besides, only PO got 25% in FCT. Stop this rerun narrative.
Wow.
I agree with this man. I agree. Well,
Lawrence, I say something myself.
Lawrence Contock say, the INEC chairman selected a candidate that came third as a winner of the election and expects Nigerians to stand up and salute. You can imagine. In his mind, a candidate that came fourth in Imo State was declared winner and nothing happened. He didn't reckon with the resolve of this generation. My people, if you not tire you, it tire me. But with God by our side, we go win. No
many things just they happen for inside there. Even this last person will be say a talk for this very tweet we on a project now. I see say the person they talk say now it be like say then the project say bat came third as then take Siam. They don't do the analysis and all of that, and we see say there's something there fine. So we'll go quickly. Esther, beg make we quickly run through this your tweet and waiting our people they talk make we for Vanot they go. quickly.
Okay, we'll get this tweet from Desmond Ewekele. In talk say lack of transparency continued throughout the collection process and during the declaration of results on 1st of March with INEC failing to communicate key information of public interest. Without a specific timeline, the law mandates INEC to publish the names of candidates elected and the number of votes obtained. INEC did not publish the manner of calculation for the declared presidential and national assembly winners. The turnout per state, number of accredited voters, total vote cast, rejected ballots, votes attributed to each party, or the list of polling units where elections were cancelled, postponed, or not held. The absence of this information undermined the possibility of independent verification of the outcome. The live collection of results broadcasted by media outlets constituted the only public source for results data.
Yes, this one, as you take Desmond take tweet, he say the actual thing where you put for that very place is they ask question, and the question where they ask they come out from the page 48, the page 48 of EU report. If you fit put that in producer for screen again, I go want make our people understand the importance of this very particular tweet. It's very, very key. And with that one, I go want go on. But I go want producer to project and make we foresee that very question where they. So he said, so INEC actually did this. It's a question. Then announced a winner. This is European Union report, page 48, that this is coming from. Is marked. We can all check it. They were talking about not just what happened. They said a whole lot of things that you can see on the screen. I don't have to repeat so that we don't kill time here. But with that one, I go on make I venture enter inside waiting with the talk for today, where you go see for your screen. The Supreme Court of Nigeria. As you go see now, this very judgment was delivered on Tuesday, the 9th day of May 2023. That is just 2 months ago. And you can see it is before their lordships, John Iyang Okoro, Mohammed Lawa Garba, Adamu Jairu, Jijani Abubakar, Emmanuel Akome Agin, who is the lead person. And as we know, this is the last bus stop after this election tribunal. And this case is between Oyetola and Adeleke. As we know, it's a very popular case, and it just came out just 2 months ago. So let's look at the judgment, the interpretation that the Supreme Court give as it concerns the matters of uploading to IReV. I want us to go quickly to page 21. That very page 21 is where clearly the discussion, because this is just the front page of that judgment. I just wanted us to know that this is where this thing started. The next something that should be on this thing, let me put it this way. The accreditation process or record of accredited voters by INEC data is a post-election record created by Section 62 of the Electoral Act 2022 and named therein as National Register of Election Results, for the purposes of keeping reliable record of past election results and the polling units, and the extant text of Section 62 of the Electoral Act reads thus. That's Section 62 says, after the recording, this is from the Supreme Court judgment I am reading from, and that is in page 21. It states that in Section 62:1, it says, after recording and announcement of results, the presiding officer shall deliver same along with election materials under security and accompanied by the candidates of their polling units wherein available to such persons as may be prescribed by the Commission. The Commission shall compile, maintain, and update on a continuous basis a register of election results to be known as the National Electronic Register of Election Results, which shall be a distinct database or repository of polling units by polling unit results, including collected election results of each election conducted by the Commission in the Federation, and the register of election results shall be kept in electronic format. Now, so Supreme Court take talk. The INEC National Register of Database, rather, the regulation provide for the beavers to be used to scan the completed results in Form EC8A and transmit or upload the scanned copy of the polling unit result to the collation center and INEC result viewing portal IReV. This is coming from page 23 of the judgment of the Supreme Court. That is where I am reading from. They said that the transmission and upload of the scanned result to the collation system and INEC result viewing portal IReV, regulation 38 of the regulation reads thus: on completion of the polling unit voting and the result procedure, the presiding officer shall electronically transmit or transfer the results of the polling unit direct to the collation system as prescribed by the Commission. 2. Use the beavers to upload a scanned copy of the EC8A form to the INEC result viewing portal IReV as prescribed by the Commission. 3. Take beavers and the original copy of each of the forms in tamper-evident envelope to the registration area ward collation officer in the company of security agents. The polling unit agents are accompany the presiding officer to the RA and ward collation center if they so desire. Now, that is page 23. Now, I'm in page 24 of that particular judgment, and I need us to read and view it from the screen. Now, they said, as the names depict, the collation system and the INEC result viewing portal are part of the election process and play particular roles in the process. I want you, yes, hold it there so that our people can read this underlined section. The collation system, this is Supreme Court of Nigeria talking. This is their judgment that the collation system and the INEC result viewing portal IReV are part of the election process and play particular role in that process. The collation system is made of centers where results are collated at various stages of the election. So polling unit results transmitted to the collation system provides the relevant collation officer the means to verify a polling unit result as the need arises for the purposes of collation. The result transmitted to result viewing portal IReV is to give the public the opportunity to view the polling unit results on the election day. It is clear from the provisions of Regulation 38I and II that the collation system and result viewing portal are different from the National Electronic Register of Election Results. The collation system and result viewing portal are operational during the election as part of the process. The National Electronic Register of Election Result is a post-election record and is not part of the election process. As I had held herein, that is the justice of the Supreme Court speaking. As I had held herein, there is no part of the Electoral Act requiring the presiding officer to transmit the accredited voters in a polling unit or the polling unit result during the election to the INEC database as part of the election process. But hold it there. If you listen from where I started, he said transmission to IReV is part of the process. Now, as stated in section 62(1) of the Electoral Act 2022, after the recording and announcement of the results, the presiding officer will just do the needful by just uploading it there. So this is where I'm going to hold it. Now, I recall I said, you look at the pages 21, go to Supreme Court judgment of 2023. Adeleke versus Oyetola. Search for the pages 21, 22, 23, and 24. That is where this came out. It is very, very clear from this Supreme Court judgment where they are headed. They cannot go otherwise. They said that thing needs to happen on that day. That is part of the process. That it must happen. And not after, but when that election was happening. This is what the Supreme Court says. And that is what we came out here today to tell Obidien that there is hope. This program on Obidati Family TV is about hope. Giving hope to the people who want a new Nigeria, who desire a new Nigeria. With that one, we go say, everybody where they watch us, I beg, make you like, subscribe, make other Obidients know, say, hope day. We have finished the hearing of the matter at the election tribunal, but election tribunal has not ended. But we are bringing you where they must all look up to, because it's the Supreme Court judgment that they should look up to. The judges that are watching us, that are looking at these issues in court, the tribunal right now, please look at this very area. Do not look at INEC that is saying the portal does not matter. Supreme Court says that portal is part of the process. That is the judgment of the Supreme Court. Please share to other Obidients. That is as much as you can do for Peter Obi, so that other Obidients will know that Peter Obi is coming. Ahmed Dati is coming. A new Nigeria is possible. But let me also, before we take this very leave from here, I want also for us to hear from our very own on an interview how that new Nigeria we are expecting will function within 100 days on channel television. I will want us to listen to that. After that very one, then we'll go.
Back to my initial question.
Yeah.
We are in a tough place,
yes,
a rocky place as a people.
Yes.
Beyond the promises, Nigerians want to be assured that you really have the solution. Where will you get the money to run the country? How will you hit the ground running? You say that you want to take Nigeria from consumption to production. That will take some time. What is your timeline? Where would you get the money? What is the creativity that you are bringing on board?
In the first 100 days, by the time we sort the problem of subsidy scam, and we're able to deploy Nigeria's wasted funds into healthcare and education, you'll begin to feel it. That my principle that I've been speaking about forever, about fair procurement, you will see that the money that Nigeria has already is achieving more, is delivering more. Infrastructure, security, public service, health, education, in everything, because we have removed, I repeat, from day one, we're announcing that we have removed personal, political, and group interest from Nigerian financial affairs. That delivers more. Does that begin to answer your question?
Go ahead, please.
Right. That more than multiplies what is delivered to Nigerians. Our moves on security, when we said that we're going to very short, we dialogue after that, we'll make them understand there's only one sovereign power in Nigeria. We move on with it. When Nigerians can move freely in their country, that air of liberty, you're already adding. When we begin to meet our OPEC quota, when we block out all leakages in internal revenue collection and all is trapped and used judiciously, you would be having the kind of money that you start all the projects we talk about.
Do you envisage some pushback? The system will push back.
They will push back, we beat them.
I mean, do you envisage the possibility that your party, should you win the election, your party may not have a majority in the National Assembly?
Yes.
Do you envisage it? How are you going to play around that?
Look, the presidency is an organ in the arm of government. It is the top organ in the executive arm of government. It has enormous powers. It is not a legislative matter to meet Nigerian OPEC quota. We don't need to go to the National Assembly to meet that. To resolve the issue of security, it's only the budget we send there. And our budgets are going to be radically different.
What will be different in your budget?
Waste.
Like what?
Waste like what I've been telling you, subsidy scam. That's a major, major one.
But this government of the day has already said, by law, actually, by execution of time, subsidy will end about the mid of this year.
Yeah.
That is almost statutory.
After it has gone for how many decades? Or for how many years? After it has gone on for how many years?
Well, like, what kind of cost of governance are you hoping to cut? For example, that we've had governments, politicians in these countries say, if we get into office, we cut down on the fleet in the planes. We've seen very tough statement being made, but when they get into power, there's a different kettle of fish entirely.
Yes.
When you talk about cutting cost of governance, what exactly does a Peter Obi Dati really think about cutting cost of governance?
Right. If you want me to go that, forgive my language, that low, Peter Obi and I, we have had these luxuries even before we came to power. So they mean nothing to us. I try to avoid speaking on what I don't have the total control over. If I were to have total, and Peter Obi as well, total control over the PAF, Presidential Air Fleet, it will not exist when we're there, the way you see it today. Maintaining the presidential villa, the amount of money spent there will not happen like that. These unnecessary long convoys, unnecessary travels and fleet and the number of people that come, security vote and all those kind of things, they will not happen under ours. I can tell you this for sure. To what extent, I don't want to be wrong.
If you and your principal say you will not be going to all of these many trips, what about people in government? What about the civil service?
That is why I told you that from the budget we submit. Remember, I'm into education. So I would like all those headings for foreign trips and conferences and their likes and the extra costs that go along with them. I would like them sensibly reduced and those monies spent in Nigeria. That is how we're going to address the budget. Miscellaneous, contingency of miscellaneous of contingency, all those kind of things will go. But something that is really not being understood, and I want to really, really reiterate it now. When Peter Obi and I announced and effect the fact that we have removed all personal, group and political interests from the procurement of Nigerian governance, you have already multiplied by a high factor what is coming to Nigerians. That is good governance. No government has done it before. We are ready on 29th of May.
A new Nigeria is possible. So we have heard from our incoming VP in waiting So let us be focused on the issues at the tribunal. Let us be hopeful. Share this video as we move on. And Angel, greet our people. Make we pack our
My well-meaning Nigerians and fabulous obedience. As Mr. Kanu said, let's be focused. Let's be hopeful. All eyes on judiciary. Judiciary are on trial. Thank you so much for being with us today. Click, like, subscribe, and share. Tell your neighbor, say this na new week. Make him join us. Thank you so much. Till we see you again in the evening. Bye for now.